So in the previous videos, we have been discussed about the different types of inversions of mechanisms. So here we are going to discuss about the different types of quick return motion mechanisms. So mainly these quick return motion mechanisms are used in the shaping and in slotting machines. So here we are going to discuss about the Whitworth and a crank slotted lever quick return motion mechanisms. Before that, first we've been seeing about a rotary engine. So this is also one of the type of mechanism where it can able to convert from rotary to the reciprocating. So this is the type. This is the engine type. It's a V type an engine. So where we'll be having a seven number of cylinders will be seven. So you can able to see this. All the links has been connected to form an one fixed link crank to. So whenever this fixed link crank to starts also reciprocating, so all this other the links which has been connected, the pistons will be connected to the piston cylinders. It will start oscillating. So this gives us an combustion process will be takes place with the help of this mechanism. So this is the how they've been used in the V type of engines. So earlier this V type of engines also used in an aviation. So now this V type engines has been completely replaced with the gas turbines engine. So this is the process of converting from rotary to the reciprocating or an oscillation movement, where you can able to see the all the seven cylinders which has been connected to an fixed link crank to. Whenever the fixed link cranks to oscillates, so all will the other connecting rods or piston and cylinders will start reciprocating with respect to that particular point or a particular link where we have been connected. So this is how we can able to consider, or we can able to consider the combustion process will takes place inside the engine. Yes, sir. Now we're going to say about the Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. So Whitworth quick return. So quick return motion mechanism is nothing but an so both the forward stroke and the backward stroke, or the cutting stroke and the return stroke, will be in the same cutting speed only. Same speed will not vary. So both the cutting speed will be in the same only, forward stroke and a return stroke. So that is the what we call it as a stroke length, or we call it as a length of stroke. See the quick return motion mechanisms that indicates. So mainly the applications of the quick return motion mechanisms is about the shaping machine, slot cutting, and even in the some of the IC engines also this type of motion. So quick return means the motion will be very quick. Both the return and the cutting stroke will be same equal speed. So where now we can able to see this point D, this portion what we called as a tool post. So the D dash and the D double dash is nothing but a stroke length, where the tool can able to move for forward direction and it can able to move to the backward direction, where the link we can able to see at the position B and at the point C. So where whenever it is rotating, it can able to move from C dash to C double dash, and the point B, whenever it starts rotating, it moves from B to B double dash, and at that point O2. And the connecting between these points to the tool post is nothing but an what we called as a crank, and here the link B is fixed, and this is what we called as a crank. So now we will say about the Whitworth quick return motion mechanism working principle. So first we'll see how it works. See, whenever this it wants to move in the tool post will move in the direction that is in the clockwise direction. See, when the tool post starts moving from the position D dash to D double dash, when the tool post starts moving from the position to D to D double dash, what happens with respect to the position C, the angle, the links which is there at the C, it starts moving from C to C double dash. These links which is there, we can able to see this. This starts moving in the C to C double dash, C to C double dash. Similarly, at position, what happens at position B? At position B, what happens again? The link starts moving with respect to the B, starts moving from B dash to B double dash. With respect to B dash to, here the link will start move from B1 to O2, where it moves from the link B1 to O2 to B double dash. So when this link B1 to O2 to B double dash, when it starts moving, the cutting stroke will be completely complete. Means the tool post can able to move to the D double dash. When the tool post is moving to the D double dash, means the cutting stroke is being completed. When the cutting stroke will takes place is nothing but when the point position B starts moving from B1 to O2 to B double dash, the cutting stroke will be takes place. So similarly, what happens now when again from B double dash to O2 to B1, if it is moving, the links is moving from B double dash to O2 to B1, automatically this d double dash will go to the d dash. That is what we call it as a return stroke. So this is what we call it as a return stroke. So this is how the reciprocating movement will be converted to the, sorry, rotary movement is converted to the reciprocating, that it can able to reciprocate the, it has been connected to the connecting rod to the tool post. The tool post starts removing the excess material and the cutting stroke, and it goes back to the return stroke when the position B moves from B1 to O2 to B double dash, that is in the clockwise direction. Again when it is coming back to B double dash to O2 to the B1, that is about an anti-clockwise direction. So this is about a with work quick return motion mechanism, where what we can able to see, you can able to see this, it moves in an anti-clockwise direction. When again when the input leaks moves from through the angle B double dash to O to B1 in an anti-clockwise direction, so the return stroke will be taking place. Yes. So next we'll see about a crank slotted and a lever quick return motion mechanism. So this is also another type of a quick return motion mechanism, where mainly it is used in the cutting and slotting levers, cutting and slotting machines, in order to cut the excess material and the workpiece. So you can able to see here. So the link 3 is fixed. The link 3 is fixed here, and you can able to see the link 2. So the link 1 is the slider. You can able to see the block slider, and the link 2 is where crank, it has been connected to this slider block, and the link 3, that is a slotted bar. Link 3 is then a lever where it has been fixed, and the link 4 you can able to see this as a slotted bar where it has been fixed to the link 3. This lever has been fixed to the link 3, and from that lever it has been connected with the help of the connecting rod. It has been connected to the ram where the ram, the tool post and the tool has been fixed in the ram. Whenever this starts oscillating, the ram will move in the forward and backward direction with respect to that particular point from P to R2. So from P1 to P2, whenever it starts moving, so it moves from the point P to R2. The tram will move to the R2 when the P starts moving from at point P. Now when from point P to point C, you can able to see the crank link has been connected from the fixed link. When this crank starts rotating about this axis, about this fixed link, so this lever starts, what happens, this lever starts oscillating, this lever starts oscillating. So when this lever starts oscillating in the forward direction, so the ram will go moves towards the line of stroke. The line of stroke is nothing but where the, we can able to see this is the line of stroke, where the tool can able to move towards this, and it can able to remove the excess material. Again when the ram starts moving in this, it moves from point P to P1. Again the ram comes back to its original position. That is what we call it as a return stroke. So if the process is continuously repeating, the excess material will be removed on the workpiece until we get in a desired shape or in a size. So the cutting stroke will be taking place continuously until we get in a desired shape. Again the required stroke also will be, return stroke also will be there automatically with the same speed. So normally this is how we can able to consider, or how we can able to process the quick return motion mechanisms. So where this crank and slotted lever will be acting connected between the fixed link and to the ram. So the connection between the lever and the ram is will be having a connecting rod. So the motion which is providing in this, it can able to translate, or it gives the converting the motion with the help of the connecting rod. The ram can able to oscillate. Whenever it is oscillating, it can able to reciprocate this motion. So here rotational motion is taking place with a fixed link. That rotational motion is converted by the lever with an oscillating movement. Whenever this oscillating movement is, that oscillating movement has been converted by the ram to reciprocating movement to remove the excess material and the workpiece. So this is how the process will be completely takes place. So one link will be fixed. Normally the fixed link, what we call it as a frame. So mainly this type of mechanism is used in the shaping machines, slotting machines, and rotary industrial internal combustion engines. So as we know that the link 3 will be corresponding to the connecting rod for the reciprocating. It's mainly used in the, this type is used in the steam engine. So the return stroke and the cutting stroke and the return stroke is produced both during the ram, during the return and cutting stroke. So this is how about the quick return motion mechanisms.